Hey everybody, Nate Pale here. I wanted to talk today a little bit about some ideas I was kicking around yesterday while I was on the treadmill, specifically regarding how the building industry is very, very ripe for disruption. And the thoughts I was having on that and how I arrived at it. So I'm reading this book called Aligning the Dots. It's a book about tech businesses, how you solve pain points, and if your claim to solving pain is in alignment, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's kind of bridging the gap, and it's translating to how manufacturers in B2B environments, they look for ways to solve developers' problems, home builders' problems, and the message they receive. And I was thinking about hey, what does that mean? How does things go? What does that look like? And I kind of got on a little bit of a tangent thinking about the technology that's available for a consumer. If you go buy something on Amazon, the next day it shows up. If you order 3 things, some chapsticks, some energy drinks, some books, maybe some children's toys, even that, 4 random things. All that logistics comes together, shows up on your door the very next day, all put together right there. So it kind of got me thinking, what is the problem with home builders, home building, the building industry? And I've always thought, everybody knows this, construction tends to be 10 years behind the curve of everybody else with adopting technology. So think about what people are trying to do right now. People are looking at new ways to build more efficiently, solve the labor problem, bring costs down. And they're always looking at the manufacturing aspect of it, the assembling of the components to build a house. Started thinking, maybe that's not the problem. So let's backtrack a little bit of how a house is built and the things that go into building a house. So first off, you need some land. Then you need somebody to draw up some pictures of the house you're gonna build. And that involves an architect, an electrical engineer, and some consultants, mechanical, plumbing, all the stuff that goes into the house. And these are specialized people that draw this up. And then once it's all drawn up, the plans are given to a team of people that go figure out what it's going to cost to build it, and they hire subcontractors. And historically, the reason why people use subcontractors is there's specialized knowledge in every trade that historically they manage information. Let me explain it this way. So if you're a plumbing subcontractor, you have a ton of expertise in plumbing. You know how to look at the plans, you know how to count the parts and pieces that go into the project, you know how to assemble those plans, those parts and pieces, and you know what they cost. And as a developer or as somebody that's arranging that, that's a lot of knowledge that you don't have the expertise. You can't know everything. You can't know everything about this for plumbing, down to the parts and pieces of pipe glue, attachments, anchors, this type of stuff. I mean, people in purchasing know the difference between pipes and fittings and stuff like that, but I'm talking about really getting into the weeds. So historically, we've used people, subcontractors, to manage this information. They manage the information of the parts and pieces you need. They manage the information of getting the labor there to install the project, and they manage the process of giving you the bill for it and receiving the payments. So we've used subcontractors for a lot of years simply because we don't have the resources to understand everything that goes into it. So we outsource it. We hire people that are specialists in this industry. But right now, technology has evolved to the point where you can design something in a BIM model. So if you're not familiar with BIM, it's building information model, a bunch of other stuff on it. But basically, this design could spit out every part and piece you need. Boom, you got it. So there's going to be this wealth of knowledge that you don't need specialized information managers to handle it for you. You're not going to need as much middleman to do things. So, you know, in the past, you didn't have the time or the resources to get into the weeds about every little trade, every little deal. Well, let's say now, technology can give you a complete material list for the project you're going. And you can use artificial intelligence or, you know, some algorithms and stuff to set up, put in processes in place, send this all out, assemble the orders and get the materials there. Like, you might be saying, hey, why? We can't do that. It's too hard, too complicated. We're always going to be doing the things the way we've always done it. And I can tell you, the reason why I know I'm right is because there's people that are going to tell me it can't be done. And I know it can be done because people are doing it every day on Amazon, with Uber, with stuff you see every day. They're connecting people for the best use of their times. So think about this. There's also a massive problem with, I guess, bloat, logistic bloat, managing of idea bloat within the industry. And more examples of this. If you want to buy products, you have manufacturers that make it, and they distribute that to distributors across the country. And these distributors distribute it to the trades you buy it from. And along the way, there's probably layers of sales reps that talk to architects to get things spec'd, talk to homeowners to get things desired and wanted, and they talk to the developers and the builders to put it in the projects. So there's this big infrastructure around it. Again, look at Amazon. What if this was all in some central repository of information that when a plan is developed, it ships out the parts and pieces. You can quickly switch in and out of these things. And you don't need specialists to do your takeoffs. Imagine a place where instead of it going to a flooring contractor who goes to a flooring wholesaler, who goes to the flooring manufacturer to do a takeoff, figure out the parts and pieces you need, get it there, order it, manage the inventory and all this other stuff. But instead, you're able to streamline some collaboration. So now you have flooring contractors that are, I guess, filling the gap with connecting you to the labor force. And then the manufacturers can go direct to a place where they're supplying the materials. And this is where it gets really interesting, because right now, when you build a house, you have certain milestones, and you're going to say, hey, look, construction's crazy, construction's unique. You need people there to manage these processes on a day-to-day basis. But I think with the advent of AI, artificial intelligence, you're going to find that people already use these schedules, and they have triggers. Like when cabinets are being delivered, you know you're about 60 days from completion of the house. And if you know these things, you're going to know when you need materials. So these things can automatically trigger AI to order materials, get the materials delivered. You say, well, it's so complicated. People need to be in there. How does Amazon, how does Uber, how do these people utilize technology that bring all this together and coordinate it? My point being is this. If we're looking to reinvent the wheel, not reinvent the wheel, reinvent the industry, disrupt the industry, it's not going to be improving the process just a little bit. It's not going to be better shades of lipstick on the pig. Somebody is going to come around and take existing technology that exists in other industries and simplify the process. They're not going to be from the home building industry. They're not going to be the big builders, the big developers. People that are already in this space, they're going to be opposed to change, and they'll hold on to the knowledge that they know, why things won't work and why things can work. And that's how people like Amazon come and disrupt the Kmarts, the Walmarts, the Targets, because they don't have limitations of what can and can't be done. They're going to think about all the challenges, and they're going to find solutions to overcome them. So you might be saying, oh, this technology is too far. This technology exists. And we're actually in a revolution that most people don't realize, that in the next 20 years, technology is going to revolutionize the way things have done, and faster than the last 100 years. So think about 100 years ago, people weren't flying in planes. Not everybody had a car. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have emails, telephones. I don't know, maybe people had telephones, but not like we do now. The level of communication was drastically different. So my prediction, 5 years, somebody's going to come along, reinvent the process, and not the process of the development, but the process of logistics, the process of getting people paid. There's pain points. Think about how long it takes for you as a manufacturer of materials to get paid from contractors. You got to get paid from your suppliers, distributors. You got to get paid from contractors. You got to get paid from owners, developers. There's a big amount of processes. Again, back to the Amazon. Why can't this be streamlined? There should be triggers of stuff that can really speed up this process and turn 60, 90-day receivables into almost instantaneously. There's pain points right there. Pain points of getting materials to the job, pain points of logistics, pain points of layers of distribution, middlemen, pain points of pay cycles, receiving payments, pain points of getting information between people. That's my take on it. I think it's probably controversial. I know every time we talk about, hey, panelized framing or factory framing, that's like, it's been tried, it's been done, it's never gonna work. I'm telling you this, the technology exists. It's already there. Somebody's just going to arrange it in a different way and solve this problem. People are gonna think bigger thoughts. People are gonna think about it a different way. And they're gonna solve these problems. And somebody's gonna come in, flip this place upside down. So that's my kind of take. That's my rant on pain points within the building industry. I think I wanted this video to be something to spark a conversation, discussion of ideas. Not a, hey, you can't be done, it won't be done. I've heard about this for 20 years. Sorry. People are gonna find solutions to those obstacles. So let's talk about what it could look like. If you found value in this video, leave a comment, like it, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you disagree, I want to hear about it too. Put it in the comments. Let's have a discussion. That's where ideas start. That's where ideas grow. And put on your big thinking cap. Think bigger. Ask deeper questions. If you ever run into an obstacle of why something can't be done, get down to the root. What is the obstacle holding that back? It's probably, when you dig deep enough, it's going to be an existing system, existing way of somebody said, this is the way we've always done it, and it can't be done any differently. Think about how you can remove that obstacle. Think about what's already out there. I'm going to give you an example. People talk about BIM modeling, AutoCAD, that, hey, those files are too big, they're too hard to manage, they're too complicated, not everybody can do them. It's right. I don't know how to use AutoCAD. I don't know how to use 3D BIM model, Revit. I guess that's what they call it, Revit. But you know what else I didn't know what to use? Didn't know how to use Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. But along comes this cloud-based website called Canva that's super simple to do interface graphical design. The files aren't complex to do. There's templates already set up. The layperson can make high quality graphic design for like 10 bucks a month. You don't think somebody is going to realize that this Revit is just bogged down in information and it's slow and its interface sucks, and they're going to invent something that makes it so much easier to manage this information that Revit does, in this simple, uncomplex, huge cumbersome system that takes lots of processing superpowers to get done. I promise you, things are changing. So start thinking about what you can do. Start thinking of ideas. Start having a discussion, because it's going to come from without the industry. Outside the industry. It's not going to come from within it. That's what I got. Please, again, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.